This video crazy as fuck. This man think he witnessed the alien this day. Now, I don't know if it's an alien, but all I know is that joint ain't human, fool. The way this shorty was walking was like a robot or some demonic possession type shit. This man beeped the horn, beep beep. Then she turned around all slow and just looked lethargic, fool. And then I don't know what he was saying in the video because he was talking Spanish. So I need somebody to translate what the hell he was saying. Y'all let me know what y'all think this shorty is down below in the comments. You think she a head? You think she a alien like he said? Or something else? Leave it down below in the comments. Watch how she turn around.
Va para adentro. Mírala. Dale, pitale, pitale, pitale. Pitale, pitale, pitale. Mírate.
What the fuck is that? Somebody explain to me. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Her face look mushed in, sunken, look black. Then she walking all weird, fool. I'm not gonna lie. Just looking at this picture right here, you probably thought this was like CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Nah, y'all, I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments what y'all think shorty
is the first human being to make his way to the bottom of the shafts underneath the pyramid and has reported back what he found in the chamber at the bottom. And it is mind-blowing. Now, like always, take what you will, leave what you won't. I have purposely not talked about this topic yet because I like to have my facts backed. But as of today, allegedly, archaeologist Rami, I'm not going to try the name again, has made his way to the bottom, and what he found there was perfect blue like water chambers, I guess is what I'm referring to them as, with the most beautiful blue color water that he's ever seen in his life, with preserved humanoid body-like creatures in the water, with, as he describes, the most crystal clear blue color in their eyes that he has ever seen. Now, once again, anything we talk about is for conversation, learning, entertainment purposes only. But have you heard this? Because I've now read 10 different reports and seen multiple videos all over social media, all over the different forums, and they're all claiming the exact same thing. So tell me, have you heard this? Because this is going to shake up history and the truth of our world like nothing else. So let's have this conversation today because I want to know if
it's important to know that trees aren't what you've been taught, all right? In ancient times, the trees actually can talk, they can walk, they can sing, they can dance, all right? Just like they depict in certain cartoons. This was based on planet Tiamat when the magic was on the realm, all right? And movies like Maleficent showed that when our realm was hijacked, they stopped the trees from moving, singing, dancing, and mushrooms. All of the fae, all of the forest creatures were actually restricted to actually being frozen or sent to other dimensional planes of existence, all right? Once the magic was depleted, all right? The titans were also frozen, all right? Now, when we talk about trees, these are planktinoid vegan extraterrestrials from the constellation Lyra, all right? Which is one of the brightest stars in our night skies as opposed to the sun, all right? The sun is the brightest, then the next will be Lyra, all right? And this is where these planktinoid extraterrestrials derive. They were the first beings to actually inhabit this realm. All right, people debate on what was the first beings, like the reptilians, the Danako tribe, the Teros. We hear about the Flugerods, when really in reality, it wasn't the reptilians, it wasn't none of them, it was the trees. The trees were the first, the planktinoid vegans, and at that time they can walk. All right. Now, there's been videos of certain trees moving. All right. There are certain videos where you can see trees moving as the frequency increase. All right, and it's going to get back to that. Characters like Swamp Thing or Groot are actually based on these vegan planktinoid extraterrestrial beings from the constellation Lyra. All right, they're actually based on these extraterrestrial beings. Now, I had a transcendental state of consciousness where I experienced these trees actually joining a great war. And that's what's going to take place. Once consciousness fully takes place on this realm, the trees also are going to remember what happened to them. You may not know it, but these trees are actually our cousins, all right? We're very similar to plant life, all right? This is why I talk about consumption of chlorophyll and using chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is going to be the substance that's going to cleanse us and revitalize our avatar and bring us back to homeostasis. It's going to actually allow us to pull in more light photons, all right? When you consume chlorophyll, it amplifies the magnesium content, amplifies the D3 receptors, allowing you to pull in more light photons from the sun. Our hemoglobin is very closely related to chlorophyll. Y'all see that? Y'all see how close that look? This is actually chlorophyll, and this is red blood cells. This is hemoglobin, all right? So when you consume chlorophyll, this is one of the best things that's gonna cleanse your blood and amplify oxygenation to the cells. Chlorophyll is the substance responsible for giving plants its green pigment, and it's an organic detoxification mechanism as well as a natural deodorizer. It contains an organic fat substance called mycelium that wraps around unwanted materials such as aluminum, lead, cadmium, and mercury, and different things emitted from the chemtrails to remove them from our blood. And when you consume chlorophyll, do it while talking to the trees, all right? Go outside and communicate to it with the tree. Talk to a tree, put your hands on a tree, all right? And you'll be surprised, all right, that tree does listen. And that tree actually will provide you energy. Trees actually also will provide you good fortune. If you're going through financial burdens and you actually want to manifest things faster, try tree magic. Go outside and actually literally communicate with the tree and express your emotions to that tree and what you really want. When you don't have nobody to talk to and you think nobody won't listen, talk to that tree. Get that tree a holler. And I guarantee you feel better, because the tree does exchange oxytocin, contrary to what you believe. Trees will exchange that oxytocin needed, and it would actually alleviate cortisol levels as well. Consuming chlorophyll is something I highly recommend currently during this ascension process, all right? Chlorophyll is actually going to bring us closer to our ancient primordial state, all right? In ancient times, we didn't have to consume food for energy. We were photosyntheans. We were breatharians. All we had to do was go outside and be around the sun, and that was enough to sustain us, all right? As we fell in consciousness, we actually then needed to eat food, all right? So as we consume chlorophyll, it actually recalibrates the body to bring us back closer to our ancient primordial ways. I do have the vegan chlorophyll complex available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. For all high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.
It seems like China is light years in front of everybody. So Chinese scientists are developing a drug to extend human life up to 150 years. You ain't hear what I just said? They are developing a drug to make you live 150 years. Chinese scientists just announced they're developing a new life extension drug after they successfully reverse aging in mice and made them live longer. And this isn't vitamins or sea moss or none of that. This is gene editing. They removed zombie cells, the old, useless cells that clog up your organ, and the mice started healing, moving better, aging slower. Some of them even live 30% longer. And here's where it gets crazy. The team said this treatment could push life expectancy to around 120 to 150 years. Do you understand what that means? We're talking about unlocking biological functions the human body has never accessed. We're talking about a lot of decisions that a lot of people will have the power to make. And this is for entertainment purposes only. But trust me, this ain't something that's going to be at CVS for $19.99. Imagine the rich living to 150. Imagine the politicians living to 150. Imagine billionaires living long enough to buy every company, every resource, every piece of land twice. Meanwhile, look at the people that's struggling right now for just the 70 years that they have on this planet. And you know what's funny? Every time China makes a scientific breakthrough, a lot of people go quiet. This right here could change everything. Aging, healthcare, population, ethics, who controls what. So yeah, humans just might actually hit 150 in our lifetime. But the question is, who's getting the upgrade? Because life extension just ain't science, if you know what I mean. I know you know what I mean. I'm out.
Check it. I recently made a video called They're About to Drop the Frequency. Essentially, I was explaining how everything we see, touch, and hear is a frequency. And that includes the temperature. As y'all know, we just had a recent cold snap, and that's why I made the video. And it was so obvious that it was frequencies causing it. Like, it literally snowed down here in South Carolina, and it wasn't even below freezing. That alone proves it. Also in that video, I went into deeper details on how the way it could activate people. But on this video, I'm explaining something else. So as I tell y'all, low frequencies basically helps them out, and that's what they use to control us. Because like I said, we can feel it, but even though we're not feeling it, like as in we're being inside our house under some AC or something, the waves still go through everything. The frequency waves, that is. Whether it's from the towers or the sun. So I've been noticing a pattern. And I know for a fact, this is exactly what they're doing because they done did it multiple times before, but now, like, it's too obvious, especially after we just had the northern lights way down south. What they are doing is also using these low frequencies to prevent these high frequencies from the sun from reaching us. Every time we have solar storms on a high level, immediately we go into a cold snap. Just think about it. So we got the high frequencies pushing down, and here they go, sending low frequencies across to prevent it from hitting the people, because those are healing energies, as in like repairing DNA. And we all know they don't want that. Like I say, start paying attention and you can realize everything they're doing is like a counter attack to what's naturally happening that they're trying to prevent. Because as I always tell y'all, if you don't know, the electromagnetic field is an electrical fence that's keeping us trapped here. And that's why they're using all this technology to prevent everything from reverting back to a natural order. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be guys. Peace.
All right, guys, it's over. The IRS as we know it, it is done. Yesterday, over 30% of the IRS's auditors resigned in a single day. Why? Because President Donald Trump just pulled the pin on the biggest financial shakeup in American history. And that's not even the half of it. In fact, at the very same time, right? Very quietly, Social Security just made a change that will permanently impact how every American accesses their identity, their benefits, their future. But there was no press conference. There was no big rollout. But if you're on SSI or SSDI, let me know down in the comments. Or if you're just planning to retire one day in the future, you need to know what just happened. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys exactly why President Trump's war against the IRS is just the beginning and what he's planning to do with your taxes next. We also need to talk about how your Social Security card's going fully digital this summer and what that really means for your privacy, and why Biden's quiet $8,000 checks for federal retirees, they've got people asking, where's mine? Comment down below if you did not yet get an $8,000 Social Security check yet. I want to hear from you guys. Guys, this is not a drill. This is a permanent shift, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why some are calling this the end of the IRS and the beginning of a cashless, government-tracked future. So stick with me, guys, because we're going to go ahead and expose the truth like we always do right here on the Ron Yates channel. I really appreciate the support. Oh, and if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. So first things first, we need to talk about the resignations that just rocked the IRS, okay? So according to the internal agency sources and corroborated headlines, 31% of IRS tax auditors just quit. Think about that. 31% of IRS tax auditors just quit. That's right, guys. So that's like 1/3 of their entire enforcement staff gone overnight. Why? Because President Trump and his Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, just made it very clear. The days of government overreach through endless audits, they're over. And so here's the kicker. This was the plan all along. Trump signed an executive order halting all new IRS hiring, freezing expansion efforts, and making sure that not a single new agent will be brought in under his watch. Now, if you've ever been audited, drop a quick yes in the comments down below and let me know how much you enjoyed that process. But now, why is this such a big deal? Well, it's because under President Biden, they wanted to add 80.
Donald Trump announces a $2,000 stimulus for every person in America, excluding high-income people. And literally a day after that $2,000 stimulus was announced, $1 trillion gets added to the entire market today. And now the Senate officially passes the bill to reopen the U.S. government. People, if you thought $1 trillion was enough, you don't have a clue. They said they were trying to inject $30 trillion in the next 6 months. This man himself, President Trump, is trying to prevent that 90% crash that was going to happen. He's doing everything in his power to prevent it from happening under his presidency. People, the amount of money that is about to be made is fucking ridiculous. So before trillions get injected, before you get your $2,000 stimulus, make sure you are following this page right here so you know exactly what to do.
Y'all not the really gypsies. Y'all gonna sit under and just watch this shit and think it's cool? Wow, this is so innovative. This is not cool, bro. Okay, so I want y'all to see. This is how they're gonna implement Project Bluebeam, bro. Look! This shit don't look right. So basically, it's the illusion that they're in a dome, right? And there's a being that's trying to attack on Titan type of being outside of this plasma matrix bubble. They're preparing for his arrival. Who arrival? Look at them in the crowd just begging and worshiping, just giving it energy. Like, what the fuck? Schizo is man. This shit is fried.
So Trump just said everybody might get a $2,000 tariff check except for the people that's already rich. That shit look cool and it sound cool, right? But here's the thing, y'all. When is it ever really free? Anytime the government just start handing out free money, it's not because they care. It's because they need something from you, from us. It's not called a stimulus, y'all. It's called a dividend. That means they're trying to make it like a reward or something. When in reality, it's a reset. They gonna give it a 2,000 and then people gonna stop asking these questions like, why are the flights being canceled? Why is the government still shut down? Why are we not getting our benefits? It's distraction money, people. And the scariest part is when they start paying for you to stay quiet, you know the game already changed. Something changed.
¿De dónde vendrá esto de allá de Costa Rica o qué onda? Están buenas la puerta, pero tienen su tranca y están trabajados. Pero que vayan a salir, no me vaya a salir un cristiano ahí. Vaya de frente. ¿Hay alguien con vida? ¿Hay alguien con vida? Respondan. ¿Quién vive? ¿Quién vive? ¿Quién vive? Hola, la puerta. Que la puerta también es trancada. A ver, nomás prueba. Vaya que cuando me suba me salgan esta gente. ¿Quién? Espérame, estoy grabando por la verdad. ¿Hay alguien con vida? Respondan. Ay, hasta me asustó. Uy, me asustó.
As the men yell, if anyone's alive in there, this massive shadow figure can be seen moving inside as its white, pale face peeks out, then hides.
All right, now listen, because I am doing you guys a favor. I don't want you guys to miss out and be like, why didn't you let us know? All right. So in just 2 days, Donald Trump could be announcing the United States Crypto Reserve. This whole week, I've been showing you guys how this coin has been steadily pushing and pumping. And then this morning, I woke up to it to being the #1 trending token. I've been telling you guys about this. I've been showing you guys all the connections. I even showed you guys that the top wallet that's holding all the tokens says Trump team member. There is a meeting in just 2 days where the United States Crypto Reserve will be announcing the United States crypto coin. And now the United States Treasury Board is also having a secret meeting in just 2 days too. What is it telling you? I told y'all that Trump don't care about nothing else but making the United States #1 in crypto. Forget every other country. He wants us to be #1. Listen, y'all, the last time that Trump made an announcement on a coin, 500 millionaires were made overnight. When I woke up today and I saw that USCR was trending #1, that made me feel like I did my job. Secure the bag alert. And I've been telling you guys this for about a week now. This is not financial advice. I'm only showing you guys how I shift and I maneuver through this matrix. Get you a phantom wallet. Search up the United States Crypto Reserve. Double check the contract address. Y'all, the digital wave is here. Are you gonna get on that wave or not? Because it's accumulating really, really fast. Comment juice down in the comments below and I'll send you guys more information. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace out.
So check it. We all know this world runs off debt. The debt of the United States Corporation, which is being defunded. Now imagine a world that's ran off of credit. The more positive things you do, the more positive value you gain. Just as if the more negative things you do, the more negative value you gain. And of course, we live in an evil world. This is why the most evil people are on top and the godly people are on the bottom. I want y'all to think about this. If this system switches over to its original form, Everyone left over with extreme amounts of debt will still be in debt, but it'll be counted as debt in a good world. As in, these people gonna have to work enough to gain enough credit to balance out the debit they created in this lifetime. You see, what they've been doing is resetting everything, including our minds, so we don't remember our past lifetimes. The quantum financial system is something that already existed before we was even born in this dimension. And I tried to explain before that there has to be a system for every planet to connect us all into one universe. Just like they say that one day we're gonna have a one world government, it's because it should be one government per planet, not a government per state. This is how all the corruption started. Because as I said, we actually don't die. We inherit everything from my ancestors. So we have bloodline that's still on this planet right now that literally have hundreds of thousands of years worth of inheritance that belongs to them. And that's exactly what this financial / system is running off of. That's why they created the Sesta QV Trust, to place that inheritance in. Their obligation was to support us through our lifetime in this dimension. As in, we're doing no hard work. We get whatever we feel like getting. We get our bills paid. Everything that we ever wanted directly out of there, because it's supposed to be quote unquote heaven on earth. But as we know, it's been reversed and given to the other ones that was born after the original humans, who are the Israelites, who are all the other nations, not the original ones. These are the nations with the mixed blood of the dragon. Those are the ones that create a negative value, the underworld. And since we are stuck in here together, they are the ones that's actually facing judgment. Because clearly, as y'all can see, here in America, almost every other nation that moved here, lived here, visited, whatever you want to call it, lived a better life than original Americans. This is why they get so much funds, in order to do things negative, if they know it or if they don't. You know, it could be these people jobs that's destroying the original Americans, or they could be thrown in particular neighborhoods to destroy the original Americans. Because we all know we get policed different. We get treated differently financially. We're going all day long. We can clearly see there's a difference, but this is what's being used to trick everyone to choose the wrong side. If y'all love the money so much, y'all love living off the debt of other people. You're going to be in debt forever. You're going to be a slave, because that's what you're asking for, literally. Besides asking for a world that's ran off credit, running off positive value, running off real things, real actions, not fake words. But like I said, just imagine. But anyways, y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.
Hey, remember that time when remember that time they found a bunch of tunnels and dirty mattresses under Shabbat synagogue in New York City in Brooklyn? No, you don't? That's okay, because the media covered it up almost instantly. But yeah, let's run it down. Let's run down the most fucked up story you've heard today. So back last year, it was discovered that a bunch of Jewish students had illegally excavated a tunnel which had stretched, I think, 600 meters beneath their synagogue. The exact place is the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in Brooklyn, New York, okay? So when it was discovered that these, ambitious students had began tunneling illegally into New York City, they pulled out a mattress, a child-sized mattress covered in what looks like blood. They pulled out a few high chairs. And who else knows what they pulled out of there? Because wouldn't it be crazy if the Shabbat people tried to literally fill the tunnel with cement before police could get involved? This really happened. Then a fucking brawl broke out. A bunch of crazy Shabbat Jewish people stormed a press conference and a police investigation, obviously trying to stop them from discovering something. Gee, I wonder, any guesses? Anyone want to take a wild guess at maybe what they were trying to stop the discovery of? I don't know. It could be a million things. But anyways, yeah, nothing to see here. This story was forgotten about within like a week. And yeah, I'm sure they're not up to anything like that anymore. Has anyone checked on that Shabbat headquarters? Anyone want to see if they got those tunnels going, or what's going on? What's going on with the tunnels, baby?
I just took some time and watched that Gucci Mane and Keisha K.O. interview when they was on the Breakfast Club. And let me say this, Gucci Mane is gone. People used to joke about Gucci being a clone. Shit was funny. Went to jail, Gucci came back. Gucci ain't Gucci. No, Gucci ain't Gucci right now. I'm looking at the interview and he's reminding me of Wendy Williams, Britney Spears type shit. And his wife is definitely his handler. You gotta listen to wordplay. She said, I control his social media. I control the money. I control everything.
I have a system. I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it. You realize you'd never know about any other episodes since September 13th because I control that. Because you're not going on Instagram. You're not going on Twitter. It's deleted. You know, and I just control everything at home. And now, before the episodes come, I catch it.
A strong woman will definitely have an effect on a man changing. But Gucci, he not even speaking like Gucci. She talking over him. Gucci not even speaking for herself. Gucci is a wild boy. When y'all know Gucci to be like that, and it don't matter. Yo, it's his wife. It don't matter. I seen somebody say that Keisha K.O. Matter put a love spell on Gucci. She did something to Gucci. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Gucci is being controlled right now. Look at when they was talking about the episode that happened on September 13th. We all know. Gucci said he don't even remember what happened. This woman says she can snap her fingers and Gucci will come back to normal. What type of shit is that? Or you heard the situation when she said Gucci will be quiet and she'll ask him why you not talking. He'll tell you, because I ain't got nothing to talk about. And she'll say, well, that's not how you talk to your wife. I know something is wrong now. What kind of shit is that? This lady said she called his attorneys, called bodyguards, and she planned a kidnap. What type of shit is that? But see, the shit gonna come out because, like I said in the beginning, Gucci is about to be the next Wendy Williams. Gucci is about to be the next Britney Spears. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, because this man is not the same person that he was. Mark my word.
Why are they setting beehives on fire in New Zealand? So it started with the ostriches in Canada, and now they're burning quite literally healthy beehives in New Zealand. Don't you remember what Albert Einstein said regarding the bees? If you don't, I got you. He said that all the bees died off, that within 4 years, life would no longer exist on the earth. Now, completely unrelated, 1000% not relevant at all to this behind me. Do you know how good honey is for us? I mean, it's really like a miracle substance. The antibacterial quality of this honey, that it can last for thousands of years. I mean, it's actually insane. It's been used for treatment for so many things over the thousands of years. Oh right, the honeybee die-off and also the flamethrowing of beehives. Check out this crazy article. And there's a lot of other research, scientific research, showing that frequency harms these bees. A whole bunch of stuff. You saw that right, TikTok, it is proven. But wait a minute, they say the bee population's increasing. No, these are managed beehives. But this chart right here shows a massive decline in the population in the hives of bees. It's literally been cut in half over 20-30 years. And while they say that it's not happening, the bee population's fine, even AI knows it's a load of bull crap. But not just AI. Researchers at Washington State are projecting that commercial honeybee colony could be 60 to 70% lost this year. Wonder what's going on. Make sure you catch the show today. YT.
Look at your social, and at the bottom it'll have that line where it says signature. It looks like just a normal line, right? Until you zoom in, you realize it's actually fine print. This is why you should always read the fine print, and look behind it. Look at the circles. There's even more fine print in there. See, this is what they mean by reading the fine print.
They're about to dramatically drop the frequency, in which will cause a chain reaction. If you're not aware, everything we see, touch, and feel is a frequency. So the temperature we feel outside is a frequency. High frequencies is heat, and low frequencies is cold. As we know, throughout our lifetime, a lot of people fell into the coercion of getting a magic potion from a witch doctor. And the contents has been nanotech and living one-dimensional and two-dimensional organisms that responds to frequencies. This is the reason why we have electrical grid and why it turned wireless. Now ask yourself, if everything was initially ran off of underground cables, why do we need to be cableless? Ask yourself how it can be a high of 80 one day, but then the next it's in its 40s. Ask yourself, how do it get dark at 8 p.m., then 2 days later it gets dark at 5 p.m., but the temperature somehow matches? Ask yourself, why does weather changes happen in certain areas, but the sun never changes its temperature for that day? The towers we see is what's creating low frequencies. by absorbing our energy and transmuting it. When they make dramatic temperature changes like they're about to do, it's going to activate people by triggering dis-eases in people frequencies, which is a noun tag doing what it's supposed to do when it hit a certain frequency, or a living organism that only wakes up when it hit a certain frequency. They both work together to wage war on your body. I know how everybody be like, I feel a cold coming. It's almost like you're asking for low frequencies to enter your body, essentially giving them consent for war because they already infiltrated. Just like our state and federal governments, they got our consent by our votes and then wage war against the very people that voted for them. I said all that to say this. The real reason why people get ill when it gets cold is because they drop their frequency, triggering a dis-ease in people's bodies for control and to keep the population where it needs to be in their mind. So yeah, be ready for this quote-unquote cold snap. Our average lows is about to be our highs for those days. Once people start getting triggered, it can cause major chain reactions, such as responses to quote-unquote outbreaks, when there's no contagion because it was triggered by something else in the air. I hope y'all can fill in the blanks because I already pushed this video too far. Anyways, I hope y'all picked up what I put down. Y'all know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.
Now I want to show y'all something. Now some allege that these beings are actually reptilians, or some would say, alright? I want y'all to pay attention to his eyes. His bio-holographic projection system is gonna fail live on camera, alright? Y'all see that? It looks like a slit, almost like a snake. Now again, some allegedly say that these beings are humanoid reptilians from the Alpha Draconis star constellation. The frequency is raising and everything is being exposed. Everything is being exposed, alright? And soon all will be revealed. The reason there's so many talks about extraterrestrials, alright, why they're making mention of the Three-Eye Atlas and the things like the Swan R2 and all of these interstellar objects, and they're mentioning things about extraterrestrials is because pretty soon they're not going to be able to hide any of it, alright? The frequency is raising, and their bioholographic projection systems that they use to bend light photons is going to malfunction once the sun reaches a certain pinnacle, alright? Once we reach the solar maximum 25, it's going to be a situation where they no longer can hide because everything is going to be exposed. If I told you that all of the chemtrails, as well as a lot of the lights that are placed outside, city lights, emit certain frequencies to distort the realm so we can't see the true reality, alright? What if I told you that most of the reality we see is actually computer generated imagery, alright? What if I told you that the reason why they utilize so much artificial intelligence and come out with apps like Sora now, where we can't tell what's real or fake, is because things are going to get so real and so intense that they don't want us to be able to tell what's real or fiction when we see it right in front of our face. Soon there will be a massive solar flare that will completely destabilize the electromagnetic grid in its entirety, alright? This solar flare will be stronger than an 1859 Keratin event, and it will put out the power, alright? We won't be able to sustain the power, and at that point, the illusion will be completely eradicated. I also believe that when this solar flare take place, when this great solar flash take place, that it will activate things like telekinesis, psychometry, and clairvoyance. This great solar flash is the reason why so many billionaires are now building bunkers underground, alright? I'll say allegedly for this app. Most of the celebrities you see, most of the politicians, most of the entertainers are actually clones or they're Mach 5 robots in skin suits. They know that when this solar flash take place, everything that's been hiding is going to come to the surface, including our epigenetic storage, all of our ancient memories from past lives, all right? All of us are going to remember who we really are, all right? And the illusion is going to be eradicated at that point. You're going to remember that you're a god or a goddess. A lot of your ancient dormant abilities are going to come online. And at that particular point in time, we're going to remember exactly what they did and where they're located, all right? I've seen the visions of us going in subterranean bases, destroying their facilities, freeing children off 18-wheelers, all right? All of these things I've seen, and multiple other gods and goddesses had the same visions, all right, in their astral projection experiences or dreams, with multiple chosen ones fighting the military, all right? And they're shooting bullets and kinetic weapons at us, and none of their bullets or missiles or anything could touch us, all right? That's how powerful we're going to get, and one of the reasons that they're in fear. It's only so long that they can suppress our godlike abilities, all right? And pretty soon, none of the machinations will matter, all right? None of the COVID strains that they come out with, none of the chemtrails, none of the endocrine disruptors, none of the genetically modified organisms, all right? All of this is attributed to also how we take care of ourselves during this ascension process, because the sun is transforming us, all right? We are the X-Men, all right? Shows like Supercell, shows like Raising Dion are all predicated on our actual abilities, all right? But one of the things we must do is ensure that we are properly prepared to integrate with those cosmic ionizing particles, all right? We must detox the metals out of our body. We must begin to fast. We must begin to ground. We must begin to meditate. We must begin to sun gaze. We must begin to remove fear so we can experience things like astral projection, so we can access the Akashic records, all right? This is the scholastic library of infinite data. Once we begin doing these things, at that point, we will begin to access our true Kundalini, all right? And when we access our Kundalini, that's the gateway to our real powers. I highly recommend utilization of Ayurvedic herbs such as Haritaki, all right, for third eye chakra activation. Haritaki is one of the first herbs that I can attest to that actually did set me on a course to things like astral projection and actually experiencing outer body experiences, all right? It was Haritaki, and I also started utilizing things like Blue Lotus, all right? Most of us overconsume cannabis, all right? Cannabis tends to limit your rapid eye movement. We need rapid eye movement, or REM. We need REM sleep in order to experience a theta frequency. When you overconsume things like cannabis, it unfortunately hinders that. Switching it with a herb like Blue Lotus, aka Nymphia cerulea, in conjunction with a herb like Haritaki, will substantially amplify your lucid dream experiences. I do have the Haritaki capsule as well as the Blue Lotus flower available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. And with the solar flares intensifying, it's very important that we remove the toxic metals out of our blood, all right? I have a very powerful zeolite called Detox 19. It's a heavy metal cleanse that will detoxify and decalcify the pineal gland, all right? It's also known for its ability to remove microplastics as well as combat deceptive nanotechnology. What they don't want us to know is the more we raise in frequency, the more the illusion wears off and we can see them for what they truly are. This is the main reason why they purposely poison us to weaken our connection with source, all right? But the more we cleanse our avatar, the more we do things like ground, fast, sun gaze, and meditate, and utilize the proper herbs to ensure we're in homeostasis, the more we elevate to higher cosmic channels. Sour sop bitters are another great way to purge yourself of all harmful bacteria and cleanse your meridian pathways and energy cortexes or chakra centers. For all high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to Ascension.
When you watch the new movie Predator Badlands, it breaks down the inception of creation that is correlated to the Anunnaki story. Now, for those who don't understand what Anunnaki means, it means those sent by Anu to Ki. Ki means Kai. Kai means planet Earth. So the basis of the movie is operated on the Trinity principle. So you got Anu, who is a representation of Najor, and then you got Quay and Dek, which is the two brothers, that is also a representation of Enki and Enlil. The synopsis of the movie is also correlated to biblical context when you're talking about the 200 fallen angels, right? Because the father Najor, he banished his son Dek into a prison planet called Planet Jenna. When you break down the word Jenna in ancient Hebrew, it means Gehenna, which is the Valley of Hinnom, which is the realm of purification and judgment. Planet Jenna was a representation of the three-dimensional energy extraction matrix, which is why Dek was sent there to look for the Callus. The Callus was a form of etheric, non-corporeal intelligence, which is primordial dark matter energy. And then you also had a faction of the Majestic 12 of what I call Ashtar Command that's connected to the Pleiadians, which is why you see them with the blonde hair. So Dr. York was right when he was talking about that in the Holy Tablets. So when you watch the movie Predator Badlands, it also demonstrates the reality of indigenous culture when you're talking about the Maasai tribe in East Africa, when you're talking about the Lox. Because the Lox was a representation of spiritual rank, ancestral power, and warrior identity.